All right, let's talk about a kind of loneliness that, well, it doesn't really look like loneliness. It's quiet, it's hidden, and it often lives behind a mask of success. We're going to explore the feeling of being functionally fine.
So think about this for a second. Maybe this sounds familiar. You're ticking all the boxes. You're productive, you're responsive, you show up where you're supposed to. On paper, everything looks great. But inside, there's this disconnect, right? A quiet hum of isolation that just doesn't match the picture you're showing the world.
And this is really the heart of it, isn't it? This split between the facade and the reality. On one side, you've got the smiling photos, but on the other, you're feeling totally invisible. You're applying on time, but you know those connections have zero real depth. You're going to work, but the days just feel meaningless.
Okay, so let's actually put a name to this. It's being functionally fine. It's this state where you're performing all the functions of a successful life, but underneath it all, there's just this persistent feeling of emptiness. And it's not some big dramatic breakdown. No, it's much quieter. It's more like a slow fade.
See, what's so tricky about it is that you're not depressed. Not in the clinical sense anyway. You can still get out of bed, you can still function.
But then again, you're not happy either. Joy feels like something way off in a distance, maybe for other people, but not for you. There's just an absence of fulfillment. And so you land right here, just surviving, completely on autopilot. Each day is just a checklist, a performance. It's not really living, it's just existing. So you might be thinking, okay, but if I'm getting things done, what's the big deal? What makes this state so uniquely dangerous? Well, the real danger lies in its invisibility.
And here's the central, kind of cruel paradox of it all. Nobody checks on you when you look okay. Your own competence, your ability to keep it all together, it becomes a shield. People see the fine exterior and just assume you've got it handled, so nobody ever asks if you're really okay.
And that just feeds the cycle, right? Because you don't ask for help either. How can you? There isn't one big, tangible problem you can point to. There's no crisis, no emergency. So you stay quiet, feeling like your struggle isn't even valid enough to talk about.
Deep down, though, you know it. Beyond all the daily tasks, there's this void. You realize the problem isn't what's wrong with your life, but what's missing from it. And what's missing? It usually boils down to quality, not quantity. You have plenty of connections, but they have no depth. Plenty of conversations, but there's no real honesty. Your days are full, but they have no meaning. It's the substance that's gone.
You know, this whole experience, it really forces us to rethink our entire definition of loneliness. We tend to think of it as physical solitude, being alone in a room. But this state reveals something much more subtle, and honestly, maybe even more painful. Because the quietest loneliness isn't about being alone, it's about being invisible while you're surrounded by people. It's that gut-wrenching feeling that if you were to just vanish from the crowd, no one would even notice you were gone. It is the loneliness of being unseen. So let's end with this. If any of this hit home for you today, just know you are absolutely not the only one. You're not alone in feeling invisible. It's a shared experience. And sometimes simply knowing that is the very first step out of the quiet.